When the Ocarina of Time was originally released in 1998, it revolutionized video gaming and is now considered to be arguably the most influential Legend of Zelda installment to have ever been conceived of. But there was one detail that divided those who had experienced the game when originally released, and even in the time since. But the speculative scenario is this: why was the water temple so difficult in the Ocarina of Time? Located at the bottom of Lake Hyla, within the water temple resided the aquatic creature of Morpha, who was responsible for draining the lake and freezing the domain of the Dora. Through events in the game, Link as an adult ventures through the dungeon to kill Morpha to return the lake on the domain to what it once was. The map layout of the time had multiple levels with rooms, columns, and paths for the player as Link to explore and proceed through. Some rooms were standard while others were different as they were filled with water. So to move through these particular rooms, Link needed to wear equipment called the Iron Boots, naturally to weigh him down in the water-filled areas to continue through, but the water boots could only be equipped or removed from the selection process of the menu. So in order to explore or re-explore rooms, areas, or regions, the boots needed to be put on or removed through the menu every single time. While at first it was of little to no consequence to players, it became extraordinarily annoying, especially when considering the difficulty of the temple. While some players opt to just wear the boots on dry land or in wet conditions, the particular situation with the boots affected them regardless. So there were no real differences in wearing the boots on or off depending on the area in the temple. Adding to the complexity or annoyance of the temple were the details of having water in specific areas of the time to be raised or lowered, making new paths available for progression and exploration. This made the entire temple a sort of gigantic puzzle that could prevent or allow main game progression, casual exploration, or even simple enjoyment, probably and most likely impossible depending on the particular choices that the player decided to do. The boot changes on water flowing problems were so crucial to mistakes blocking advancement that in later re-releases of the game, details made it easier for newer players to not have the same sort of difficulties that older players had when experiencing these plights in the temple. From information now known, Nintendo didn't think that all of these conditions and factors would have the majority of players who experienced Ocarina of Time to despise or even hate that particular level within the game. It later did exactly that, as soon after the video game was released. Due to a combination of all of these reasons, some players couldn't or wouldn't progress through the temple, so for a particular amount of players, their experience of Ocarina of Time ended right there. Others had no choice but to replay the entire experience until the temple, as to then redo it to hopefully find a way through it to continue with their playthrough. All of this occurred before internet sources could help players navigate the temple, or developmental support patches to help make the experience easier.